What's up YouTube? This is a quick comparison and my honest opinion about the new X299 CPU and a quick comparison with the Broadwell 6800K and 6850K CPUs. First of all, there are so much debates that they were expecting much more from Intel about this CPU. People were disappointed, but I think I have different opinion. I'm not really optimistic about Intel. They have been always doing the zigzag technology, but still it's not that bad. So the first thing to compare about the X299 and the X99, they have added a few features that was not supported, and actually one of them was deal breaker for me. I wanted to have M.2 RAID 0 RAID 1 configuration. So X99 does not support RAID configuration. X299 actually now the new Intel chipset supported. The chipset now is supporting VR compatible. Otherwise the other two of them actually they're not compatible. So if you are taking one by one, I think both of them will say this one is better, this one is better, but eventually at the end of the day it depends what actually you are using. So there are so much deep debates about these two when they were released, which is, shall I go with a 50 or with a 680 6800? And in my case, at that time I was going to have an SLI, so I need more PCI lanes. So this one has 6850 has more PCI lanes, more core frequency, so I picked up this one. When I picked this one from my friend, he only had 1 GPU, so I picked this one for him. On the other hand, this one, the new X299 has actually less PCI lanes. Yeah, people they were complaining about PCI lanes, but now I have a high-end GPU, so I am not going to use more than one 16 PCI lane for the GPU, and so 28 PCI lane is good enough. Moreover, this one, keep in mind, this one has 8 core, this has 6 core. When I bought this one, it was the same price about this one today, as of today. So generally speaking, I think the X299 is a winner. Does it really worth upgrading from X99 to X299? It's up to you. In my case, it didn't make any difference to upgrade. I had the chance, I had a good deal to upgrade, so I've upgraded. If I don't have that deal, so yeah, most likely I'm not gonna upgrade. But that's the case even when you are having if you remember Z170, Z270 at the same time, it didn't make any difference, only a few changes on the chipset itself, but the motherboard CPU they're saying a few boosts. So this is the Intel situation. If you are buying an Intel, don't expect much from one generation to other generation. It's from 1 through 7 you have a slightly upgrade. From on AMD on the other hand, yeah, they have really big jump, good for them, but I'm not a pro Intel or against the AMD, but there are so many downsides about the AMD. Like once they released it, they have RAM compatibility, fewer PCI lanes. Are you kidding me? You are having, I think, 20 PCI or 24. If you are having dual APSI SLI configuration or Crossfire, you cannot go to 1616. You can have 88, which is ridiculous. Anyway, so if you compare between these three, there are minor differences, but I think at the end of the day, the X299 20X is the winner, because you are having a higher number of cores. You are having here 8 versus 6. You are having lower PCI lanes with 600 850 60. Oh, I keep saying that 6850. So yeah, this one has 40, this one has 28, but in my case didn't make a difference. But the core frequency on the 68 is higher. Oh sorry, X299 7820X is higher. So the core frequency, it's 3.6 for both of these, but when it comes to the turbo frequency, this one will go up to 4, this one will go to 4.3, but with the turbo boost technology it will up to 4.5. This one actually lower in frequency. Moreover, this one supports the Optane technology, which is the new one where you are boosting your hard drives. In my case, I don't care, I'm going to use the M.2, and I am now, like I said, it's supporting 2 M.2. So this one much better in terms of supporting dual M.2 natively from the CPU itself. Other than that, there's no much difference. Beside the RAM, both of them supporting quad core, a quad channel configuration for the RAM, but this one now supporting 2666 as a native RAM speed instead of 2400 as a native. You can overclock through the motherboard, of course, but as a native speed without overclocking or turning the XMP, this one can support up to 2666 without turning on XMP. Which is, yeah, kind of not big difference, but yeah, still a difference. Other than that, I don't think there's differences. Yeah, there's a one difference, and I saw about the one argument people keep arguing about the cache. So both of these has level 3 cache of 16. This one has a level 3 of cache of 11. However, bear in mind that it not only cache 3 makes a difference. You have cache 2 and cache 1. So cache 2 and actually cache 2 for this one, it is 256 per core, which means you are having 1.5 cache 3. However, this one has 1 meg or 1.25 per core. So you will end up with a much higher cache 2. So at the end of the day, you are having a higher cache, but as a cache 3, this one is lower. So this one of the misconception about which one has a higher cache or lower cache, you are having, bear in mind, you are having cache 2 and cache 3. Overall, this one has a higher cache overall. So I'm gonna install this one. Of course I have to install, it's already installed in the X299 motherboard, X99 motherboard. I have done all the tests for this motherboard, for the overclocking, how much temperature do I have, benchmark, all the stuff. I'm installing now, as you can see in my motherboard over here. I will install it. I will install this one on the MSI X299 motherboard. I will do overclocking, I will keep the temperature, do benchmarking, and keep you posted. Stay around, and peace.